Hello again. I hope you all are doing well. Now, as we are with the topics of general embryology, and in the last lecture, we finished the formation of blastocyst and then an implantation. What happens next? Now, in the next week, what are the various changes that occur? So, this is where we finished. The zona pellucida disappears. The blastocyst now has a cavity that is known as a blastocele, and then there is an embryoblast that is at one pole, that is known as the embryonic pole. The other one is known as the abembryonic pole. Now, what are the other changes that will occur? Further, what will happen? The cells of this embryoblast, which are towards this cavity, they will flatten up. So, we can show the structure as few cells, they flatten and form a layer that is called hypoblast. This layer is also known as the primitive endoderm. Now, the remaining cells of this embryoblast, they will become columnar and form another layer here. And we call this layer as epiblast or the primitive ectoderm. Then the cells from the hypoblast will multiply and will line this cavity, the blastocele. So these cells are derived from the hypoblast. This layer of cells is called the Hughes membrane. And now this cavity is known as primary yolk sac. The primary yolk sac, right? Similarly, another cells will be derived from this overlying trophoblast and they will line this cavity. So the Hughes membrane is derived from these hypoblast, and this layer of cells is derived from the overlying trophoblast, and we call this layer as these cells as embryogenic cells. And the cavity in between is called the amniotic cavity, right? So we have the two germ layers now, which are though the primitive ones. So this is a bilaminar embryonic disc. This is an embryonic disc and it is two germ layers. So we call it as a bilaminar embryonic disc. There is a formation of primary yolk sac. There is a formation of amniotic cavity. Now what will happen in the next step? The cells of the trophoblast, the outermost one, now they will multiply and they will fill the space here. They will fill the entire space here between the Hughes membrane and trophoblast, between these embryogenic cells and the trophoblast. Now, what will the changes be like? So, this bilaminar disc, the green one was the endoderm. This is the Hughes membrane. With this change, this yolk sac becomes smaller and now it is called the secondary yolk sac. This was the primary, now this has become smaller and it is the secondary yolk sac. Then similarly we have the ectoderm here or the epiblast, primitive ectoderm. and along with it the embryogenic cells and the amniotic cavity. Now the cells will, the trophoblast will multiply, the cells of the trophoblast will multiply and form a mesoderm hair. In all this space, the cells will occupy this space, and this complete space will be known as extraembryonic mesoderm. Now what will happen? Small cavities will appear in this extraembryonic disc, right? Then these small cavities, they will coalesce, they will join and form a bigger cavity. They will join and form a bigger cavity. So now this is the bigger cavity, and now this bigger cavity is known as extraembryonic coelom. This is called extraembryonic coelom. Coelom means cavity. Right? Now we can see very clearly that this is the final picture. Right? So we have this extraembryonic mesoderm, we have this extraembryonic mesoderm. So this layer of extraembryonic mesoderm, we call it as somatopleuric or parietal extraembryonic mesoderm. Similarly, the inner one, this we call as splanchnopluric or visceral layer of extraembryonic mesoderm. So we have the extraembryonic mesoderm, the outer one is the somatopleuric or the parietal, the inner one is the splanchnopluric or the visceral, and in between there is a cavity that is the extraembryonic coelom, right? With this step, now there is the formation of two important fetal membranes. As we can see, the trophoblast outside, this trophoblast plus the somatopleuric layer, this forms a layer that is known as the chorion, and there is another membrane that is formed by these amniogenic cells plus the splanchnopluric mesoderm, and this layer is called the amnion. So this is how the two fetal membranes are formed. So in my next video, we'll be continuing further that how the third germ layer is also formed that completes the step of gastrulation. Thank you so much. If you like my video, kindly press the like icon and subscribe my channel. Thank you.